On today's NBA Today broadcast, a new development stirred the pot in Knicks Nation, one that could have a lasting impact heading into training camp. Let's just say the conversation around free agency took a sharp turn, and it all revolves around one name, Kevin Love. With the Knicks currently evaluating their final roster spots and carefully weighing veteran presence against long-term youth development, Kevin Love has suddenly emerged as a realistic and intriguing option. Sources close to the situation suggest that the front office, led by Leon Rose, is actively monitoring veteran bigs who can stretch the floor, offer leadership, and still contribute in meaningful minutes. Love fits that mold perfectly. Let's talk about why this matters. First off, roster flexibility is limited. The Knicks have 2 standard contracts left to fill, along with 3 two-way slots. Injuries have quietly piled up across the roster, and while none are believed to be season-threatening, the ripple effects are already being felt. That makes every remaining spot critical and opens the door for a veteran signing that could stabilize the bench unit from day one. Now, here's what's drawing internal attention. Kevin Love is no longer the all-star who once anchored the Cavaliers, but he's still a viable piece. Last year in Miami, he accepted a reduced role and still managed to average 5 points per game, while the season before that saw him put up nearly 9 a night. He's a career 36% shooter from 3 and remains a respected voice in any locker room he joined. More importantly, Love would bring spacing. In Mike Brown's system, where tempo and floor geometry are prioritized, a front-court presence who can drag defenders out to the perimeter becomes crucial. And when your offense occasionally struggles with clogged lanes, particularly in lineups involving non-shooters like Mitchell Robinson, adding a stretch 4 who understands timing and off-ball positioning is a luxury you can't overlook. But this potential move isn't just about stats. It's about fit, mentorship, and post-season readiness. Love has seen it all: deep playoff runs, championship pressure, and adapting to roles on the fly. For a Knicks team trying to take that next step from contender to legitimate powerhouse, having that experience in the second unit could make a significant difference, especially in tight playoff rotation. And here's another layer to consider. Josh Hart's injury has created a small vacuum of leadership and hustle within the rotation. Hart recently underwent a procedure on his right finger, and while the team expects him to return later this summer, he'll be limited in his basketball activity for the next several weeks. That opens a small window where the Knicks might need another veteran voice to set the tone, on and off the floor. Don't underestimate the importance of that. In the playoffs last year, Hart averaged nearly 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, becoming the glue that held the team together during key stretches. With Mike Brown now in charge, the Knicks are expected to double down on two-way wings and floor spacing big. So, if Hart isn't fully ready to go by camp, Love becomes an even more compelling plug-and-play piece. But here's the twist. Some insiders believe the Knicks are also toying with a shift in how they build out their bench. If Hart ends up moving to a reserve role to allow more shooting in the starting 5, a veteran like Kevin Love could help fortify that second unit alongside him, giving Brown more lineup flexibility depending on matchup. Of course, there's a counter-argument. Love isn't known for his defense, and there are concerns about how he holds up in high-tempo systems. But for 10 to 15 minutes a night, especially in bench-heavy stretches, his ability to hit shots, make smart passes, and play within himself could be exactly what the Knicks need to avoid offensive droughts. As for Love, he's been quiet this offseason, but make no mistake, there's still interest around the league. The Knicks, given their current construction and need for a stretch big who understands the moment, may just offer the most logical fit. Whether it happens soon or later in the summer, this is one storyline that's rapidly gaining traction inside team circles. And if the Knicks are serious about shoring up this roster for a deep playoff push, Kevin Love might be more than just a name on a list. He could be the next smart move in a summer that's far from over. But while Daddiet's summer league journey may be paused, the Knicks front office is still operating in full gear behind the scene. And that brings us back to Kevin Love. With Hart recovering, Dadiet sidelined, and uncertainty surrounding how the team will fill out the rest of the depth chart, the idea of bringing in a steady veteran like Kevin Love continues to gain traction. And here's where it all starts to come together. Look back at Love's most effective stints over the past few years. When he was coming off the bench in Miami or Cleveland, he made a real difference. No, he wasn't putting up 20 and 10 every night, but he was impacting games. He was spacing the floor, grabbing rebounds, taking charges, and firing outlet passes that sparked fast breaks. That version of Love still very much available. And much like Hart, Kevin Love doesn't need to start to be valuable. In fact, a sixth-man role might be ideal at this stage of his career. He's the type of player who can check in, hit a couple of timely threes, pull down a big defensive board, and swing momentum without needing plays drawn up for him. That's invaluable in a playoff setting, and it's part of why he still found minutes in the finals rotation just over a year ago. Now, to give credit where it's due, last postseason, Josh Hart averaged nearly 12 points, 9 rebounds, and over 4 assists, shooting an efficient 47% from the field and a respectable 37% from 3. That's elite role player production. And while Love's numbers may not jump off the page in comparison, his skill set offers something the Knicks are currently light on: reliable shooting from the big man spots and a championship-tested mindset. Coming into training camp, there's a real possibility Hart might not be in full rhythm offensively, through no fault of his own. A finger injury, even a minor one, can throw off timing, shooting touch, and confidence. That's why the Knicks are expected to move cautiously with his ramp-up. They won't push it. And in the meantime, adding a seasoned veteran like Love could give them some much-needed insurance. Love's presence wouldn't just benefit the on-court product, it would raise the floor of the locker room. He's respected. He's been through it all. For a team hoping to mold young talent like Pacome Dadiet into steady contributors, having someone like Love around could accelerate that learning curve. And speaking of Dadiet, his summer league stint may have ended early due to a toe injury, but the raw talent is there. In flashes, he showed the kind of movement, length, and versatility that screams potential rotation wing down the road. Unfortunately, he's now behind schedule in what was already going to be an uphill climb to crack the rotation. The Knicks don't need Dadiet to be a star right now. What they need is depth. They need option, and Kevin Love provides exactly that. Even if he only logs 12-15 minutes per game, those minutes could be the difference between a stagnant second unit and one that keeps the pressure on opposing defenses. And here's the reality. With Mike Brown now implementing his system, built around ball movement, floor spacing, and quick decision-making, players who can stretch the defense and make smart, instinctual reads are going to thrive. Kevin Love does both. He knows how to relocate, how to find shooters, how to screen without fouling, and how to exploit slower rotations with just a few seconds on the clock. No, Love isn't going to anchor a defense, and no one expects him to. But next to a rim protector like Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein, his weaknesses are far easier to cover. What you get in return is spacing, poise, and an understanding of the game that only comes with experience. And again, this wouldn't be a headline move. It would be a smart one. A subtle reinforcement that bolsters New York's bench depth, brings a calm veteran presence, and gives the team a proven weapon for tight playoff moments. You want guys who've been through the fire. Kevin Love has. So while Hart heals and Dadiet resets, the Knicks would be wise to keep their eyes on the present and the playoffs. Because come April, having Kevin Love on the bench might make a bigger difference than anyone's realizing right now. And this summer, that might just be the move that helps the Knicks finally turn the corner.